All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome again to another episode of the Broken Lords podcast. Today, we are exploring further the desiccated wasteland of fungal zombie infinite sadness that is DKB1 Alpha.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Vox's backsuit.
That too. That's also desiccated and a wasteland. But when we last left our erstwhile crew, well, they had just been in a standoff of sorts. Vox revealed that his vac suit may have been compromised. The corporal decided immediately maybe I should shoot Vox in the head, but when he spun around, he noticed neither Vox nor Klein were looking at him. They were looking up at Rift Hauler 5A7. The ship they had been sent to this terrible planet to investigate. In the viewport of that ship, there was a woman waving around a flashlight, desperately trying to get their attention.
Yeah, I feel like this is some aliens territory, so I guess in character, the corporal squints, points, sees that everyone is already seeing what he's seeing.
Maybe we should check that out.
Yeah.
She couldn't have answered the door when we knocked the first time.
Maybe she just lost communications?
Well,
She certainly doesn't appear to have communication since she's trying to get your attention with a flashlight.
you think that would stand out to me of all people. All right, fine.
This sounds suspicious.
This whole place is suspicious.
Yes, but this even more so. Keep your wits about you. Stares at Klein. Eyes focused on the mission.
Aye, Corporal.
Let's do what we need to do and get out of here.
All right, so we head up to the rift holder.
I wonder if my communications knowledge includes the flag. There's a name for it, and Lydia can't think of it.
That would potentially work if this lady also knew it.
Semaphore?
Kind of a Hail Mary.
Is that what it's called? Semaphore?
Yeah.
But yeah, it probably is a Hail Mary. She's not exactly using flags herself.
Yeah. Excited is the wrong word. Desperate is what she looks as you draw closer, but certainly glad that you're seeing her. After she kind of drops the flashlight and just scrambles around, and eventually she holds up essentially a whiteboard, and it just says help on it in big letters.
No, really, lady? You need help?
She takes it down and scribbles some more, holds it up again. Ship in lockdown, need captain's code, trapped.
Well, I mean, you fucked?
So I guess Vox kind of just shrugs.
No, the captain's code wouldn't be the same as the one that we used for the computers. Would it?
No.
But we haven't seen any sign of the captain.
Do we have a similar marker board-like thing in our quarantine?
Not that I'm aware.
Do we have a box that we can deconstruct? Something we can write on? Or how... No, the ground is mossy, shrubby stuff, right? It's not sand.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a good look at the outside of the 5A7. Is there anything suggesting to me why her comms might be out?
Give me a check with your comm skill with education for the attribute.
The electronics.
Mm-hmm.
All right. There's no damage to the comms anywhere you can see from the exterior component of the comm system, although there would not be much of that on a spaceship. But the portion of the hull that you would expect comm systems to be located in is fine. So is the rest of the ship. You imagine that the comm system being in lockdown is a consequence of the general lockdown that the whole ship is under.
Is that normal?
It is. I know it was a while ago. You guys were able to determine that this is an emergency, shit got real kind of lockdown.
Oh yeah, but why would that disable the comms? Wouldn't you need the comms in order to help resolve any kind of a...
Think more of a scenario where think you're IG-11 and you're considering whether or not you should blow yourself up.
Ah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Also, even if they had the option to do a specialized version of this lockdown where their comms were still active, who would they hail?
Fair.
It's 6 parsecs to the nearest habited system.
I almost want to say there's also a factor of your comms can be traced if somebody knows what they're doing. And if you're trying to, if you're in a situation where you don't want to be seen, maybe it's also like that.
It's very much a last resort. We're probably already screwed variety of lockdown.
That's intense. Okay. I would like to hail Captain Crust to apprise him of the situation.
All right. The captain clicks on over the comms. What's going on out there? It looks like the corporal was just pointing his gun at Vox. What's happening?
A lot of things. Where do I begin? Let's go backwards. First, there's someone on board the 5A7. She doesn't seem to have the lockdown removal code, and so she's trapped inside. We're gonna work on that.
That's disturbing.
Right. Vox. Klein looks at Vox.
I've got a soup breach.
Hence the delayed execution.
Well, that's not great news either, but we don't know if that's necessarily a problem yet, do we?
No.
I mean, it's nerve-wracking, but...
I am not intending to pull the trigger right now, but... all due respect, Vox, if it's you or me...
Oh yeah, no, go right ahead. I don't want to be a fungus thing. But let's wait until we know that's going to happen.
All right,
Yeah.
everyone just keep a level head. See if you can find a way to communicate with the person on the 5A7. It's still part of our mission to figure out what happened.
Did anyone leave a magic marker in the quarantine hut?
Not to my knowledge.
No.
Well, rats.
Doesn't one of you have a laptop or something?
I do. Can use that.
Yeah, see if you can get some words up on the screen and get close enough that she can read them. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can figure something out.
Yeah, so we'll try that.
We're looking at pulling apart the information you sent us, but
There's a lot.
there's a lot here, yes. See if you can figure out what's going on with that crew member, and you can still use the airlock as a safe haven.
Thank you, Captain.
Be careful out there.
We will do this professionally and as systematic as possible.
Yep.
All right, so what do you folks want to do?
Well, I'm going to see if I can pull some stuff up, put something together from the laptop to try and communicate with her.
You got macro hard word on there?
I mean, if it comes down to basically like one word at a time, then that's what we got. But
You could theoretically also climb onto the 5A7 to get closer to the viewport.
yeah, that would work. Just roll some climb checks and stuff.
I'm not going to make you make a check for that. There are currently no fungus zombies about, so you're not in a time crunch.
Well, small miracles, I guess. All right, should we go over and see what happened to the 5A7?
Sure.
Any form of hailing protocol that we can do? Rather, any terminal we can access to potentially... Oh, right, the orange code. Only the
Yes.
Yeah.
captain.
The comms are totally out, but if nothing else, Klein squares her stance and waves to as best she can to indicate to the woman, "Hey, we see ya."
And I'm already starting to climb up onto the thing so I can then pull out the laptop and try communicating with that.
All right. Yeah, you get up there, and as you get close, you get a better look at the woman. She, understandably looks very frayed and out of sorts, but she also does look very happy to see someone who's not a shambling monstrosity.
Give me time, lady.
Wow.
From this distance, you can see more into the ship's command center, and there's nobody else there.
Oh, that's great. But one's better than none.
You wouldn't happen to know any semaphore, would you?
What? I'm just going to use actual words on my computer.
Oh, that works too.
I hope she can read. Given she can write.
Well, Vox is doing whatever you call this.
Communicating?
You want to scrape some gravy off of my suit, please?
Not particularly, but I suppose that's what we are going to have to do.
Hey.
Is there tools we could use to increase the distance between us? I'm all for social distancing, even for space.
Unless you have something in your personal equipment, you would have to go back into the candling station and find something to use.
Welp, who wants to do a foraging check with me?
Well, I'm here communicating, so...
Let's, wait.
Let's do that thing that's great in movies.
I mean, the chances of... worst comes to worst, if anything shows up, I'll just duck into one of the ships. So
All right, in the immortal words of the master tactician, Fred from Scooby-Doo. Hey, gang, let's split up.
dun, 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 eh.
And even if we could just find like a butter knife or something. There wasn't anything like that in that little shed, was there?
Yeah, I was about to say we need a scraper
I mean-
of some kind.
Vox can just throw a screwdriver down. I was being
And I already
serious about
did.
that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Big old flat tip screwdriver.
The corporal politely backsteps and flourishes the screwdriver at Klein.
Thank you, sir.
All right, you have a sample of the goop. You can conduct that calibration since we already did the dice roll for it last time. You can conduct that calibration. It'll take a little while, but probably by the time Vox is done communicating with this person, I imagine you'll be all set.
For some reason, I imagine the corporal set the thing up on the ground and then, like, stepped away. And, like, Klein hobbles over and, like, gingerly just trying to get globs off. Because she doesn't want to be too rough.
Oh, what's the worst that can happen?
And she's wiping it into, like, the receptacle. And then, like, she backs away. And then the corporal, like, nudges the top closed with his laser pistol. Or something.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's like really awkward. It's like we're playing a terrible version of reverse tag or something.
Yeah. Pretty much.
What is Vox's opening play?
Once I'm up there, I'm going to. She said she needs the code, right? So I'm going to say, do you know where the captain last headed?
She scribbles on the board and then holds it up. Last known destination, carving camp.
All right. So I'm going to let the two down there know. Looks like the captain was heading to carving camp last.
Where is this carving camp? Have we been there before?
No.
You have not, but when you were at the weather station, you were able to get an updated geographical profile, so you know by coordinates exactly where the carving camp is. You just haven't been there before.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
I remember now. We were trying to like tidy up a couple of loose ends before we went about trying to change our oxygen over, and then we were going to head up to carving.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, now it's even more complicated than before.
There is water in that stream if you want to wash off, Klein.
We're just hitting all the tropes, aren't we?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. It's not like a parasitic snake's going to pop out and wrap around her stuff.
It may be cold water, but the vac suit
For
can
some
handle
reason, I'm inclined to take another sample, if you will, and drop it in the water and see what happens
it. All right.
before I get in myself.
Yeah, you walk up to the stream, scoop some gloop, toss it in the water. It slowly, lazily floats downstream amongst chunks of ice.
Wow, it's really cold. Okay. Wait, is it deep enough for me to...
You would have to kind of wallow in it. It's pretty shallow in most places, but at least you would get that shit off of you.
Yeah. Okay. Watch my 6, Corporal.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
It's what I do.
I'm also going to see if I can get the name of this lady.
She writes, Tass Engren.
Ah. Well, I'll let her know that once we've